Hello everyone, welcome back to Blacksmith Studios. My name is Jack and today we are going to be breaking down the brand new trailer for Fantastic Four First Steps. Now, I know this is late and I do sincerely apologize. I wrote this down ages ago and due to personal situations as well as the fact my birthday came up the other week, it's been chaotic. So, I just thought I'd still get this out because I've written it down and I thought, well, I may as well get it out to you guys. After this trailer, this movie is by far the most anticipated release of this year. Marvel, DC, films in general, this is my most anticipated movie of the year. So I'm really excited to talk about this with you guys. But anyway, let's jump into it. So we open on a retro-style talk show called The Ted Gilbert Show, as Ted narrates the familiar origin story of how the Fantastic Four went into space and came back changed with powers. We see this vintage 60s style footage of the team preparing for launch, and then we get our look. First, not our first look, but then we get a look at the Marvel 1 rocket that they use in the film as it blasts off into space. Now, I think there are two space missions in this plot. The first will be one that gives the team their powers, shown in this retro-like footage, and the second one leads to the birth of Franklin Richards and the arrival of Galactus. You can tell the modern shots aren't from the original launch because the aspect ratio shifts to a widescreen cinematic format. There are also scenes of people waving American flags and flags with the Fantastic Four logo, showing how beloved this team is in this version of Earth. The admiration, I believe, is something that is going to set up an emotional gut punch later on in the film. Next, we see the Thing, Ben Grimm, outside of a school as kids chant for him to lift a car. He does so and they all cheer. It's really heartwarming twist on how he's usually treated, with most versions showing Ben judged for his appearance, but here the kids don't care. He's clearly moved by their acceptance of him, and I think it's I do feel that adults in this film will be they won't like Ben for how he looks, but they will judge him. But I think the kids, being so innocent and kind, I feel like they're going to accept him, and I think they're going to love him more than the other team members. We then see more children playing in the street with a makeshift Fantastic car, as Ted Gilbert continues saying that the world owes the Fantastic Four a debt that they can't repay, but they can celebrate them. As we see footage of more kids watching the show, and some other shots with this retro style aspect ratio from kids to firefighters thanking the Fantastic Four for, well, being heroes. Ted welcomes the Fantastic Four on stage in costume, and we did see this moment from the first trailer, but this is our first closer look, and honestly, the suits look incredible. This alternate Earth is kind of being portrayed as this paradise, this utopia, with Sue leading the Future Foundation, bringing peace to the planet, while Reed has revolutionized technology, science, energy. But based on how the trailer progresses and my own theories, I do think that the team is going to be responsible, at least partially, for Galactus arriving and destroying everything that they built. We cut to the elevator doors opening at the Baxter building. Ben and Herbie are making tea, same as in the initial teaser trailer, but now we see Johnny Storm picking up a cereal box with the Human Torch comic book cover on the front. He jokes that Reed and Sue are late, but Sue reacts nervously, and Ben catches on. She's pregnant. Johnny is thrilled, hugs his sister, calling her the best mom ever. He then tells Reed that he'll be a great dad, but then backtracks and says, actually, no, you're out of your depth. Johnny and Ben both say that they'll be the best uncles, and honestly, this scene really nails this family dynamic. And now we are getting confirmation that a baby is involved. It raises the emotional stakes of the movie, and honestly, we've not seen a version of the Fantastic Four like this before. Now, the baby is likely Franklin Richards. It could also be Valeria Richards, but I believe it's Franklin Richards, who in the comics is a beyond Omega level mutant and has reality warping abilities. He can literally create different universes. Now, if you haven't seen my Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars pitch, where I kind of explore how Franklin could destroy the multiverse and then recreate it, Please do. I'll put a link above for each of them, but I do have a compilation with both of them together in one video, just for you guys. So yeah, the links are in the channel. But anyway, we then see Reed and Sue in the bathroom of the Baxter building, and Sue reassures Reed that everything will be fine. Probably about the baby that he's panicked about, but I think that Sue is going to be this emotional anchor for Reed, and I feel like Reed will believe that he's kind of out of his depth, maybe not knowing what to do, because he's not very emotionally mature in the comics. So it'll be interesting to see how the film plays with that. Suddenly, the tone shifts. The music starts to become more ominous as the team looks out from a balcony as fire rains down onto New York. Now, I think a lot of people theorize, but this is definitely tied to the Silver Surfer's arrival. We see her descend into Times Square and ask the team if they are the protectors of Earth. Yes, this version is Shah-Labal, not Norrin Rad. And before any one of you complain about the gender swapping, don't. I love Norrin Rad, don't get me wrong, but introducing Shah-Labal gives the MCU a chance to explore a lesser seen version of the character. Plus, this isn't the main timeline, this is an alternate Earth, so Norrin Rad could still appear in the main universe. In fact, having both versions of the character later down the line could be a really cool opportunity for a soft reboot. I hate all the backlash that Julia Garner and the team behind the Fantastic Four have received about this, and I just think it's completely uncalled for. Shah-Labal is an interesting character, and we are getting it. And hey, if we are presented with the only chance to see this Earth or anything from this Earth again, why would you want Norrin Rad to be in this movie and then be killed off or to never be seen again? Then seeing Norrin Rad again in the MCU, the main timeline. I just think it'll be nice if we have the two distinct versions of the character. I just want you all to know this. This is kind of my reasoning and my thoughts behind it. So please think before you start shouting and things like that. But thankfully, most of the people who watch these videos are actually quite chill. So, I respect that. We then see Sue tell the Surfer that they are Earth's protectors. And beneath them, I notice a seal marks 4 years since the Fantastic Four saved the world. I think this could be kind of their version of the Battle in New York. And I think it could be the first fight with Mole Man. The fact that it's on the ground, it could be like an entrance to Subterranea. So I think that this could be connected to it. It could be that 4 years prior to this movie, Mole Man attacked New York as like a big supervillain, and the Fantastic Four saved the world. And I think this is, when I say this, their version of Battle in New York, I don't just mean a battle on New York. I think that obviously the Avengers gained in popularity because of the Battle in New York. That was their point of assembling, joining together, being superheroes for the first time for the whole public to see. This would be the Fantastic Four's version of it. But that was just my thoughts. But I could also see it being a completely different character that they fought, and again, it could be their version of this Battle of New York. The Surfer warns the planet is marked for death and flies away. Johnny chases after her, and it kind of echoes the Rise of the Silver Surfer movie, where Johnny Storm chases the Silver Surfer in that movie, and it was really, really fun sequence, actually, and I kind of hope, well, I'd love to see that again, but I don't think we're going to see too much of it. I mean, because she flies away into space after this point. She phases through a helicopter, showing her abilities to phase through objects. We saw more of this in the Rise of the Silver Surfer movie. And we then see as Johnny follows her all the way up into the upper atmosphere, but his flames cut out due to the lack of oxygen. He grabs her board and gets thrown off and falls back to Earth. During this sequence, we hear Reed say, "It's my fault, I stretched the boundaries of space and they heard." I think Reed may have triggered Galactus by attempting some sort of thing in space. So I think they went up on the second mission and he went up trying to do something, and that's what brought Galactus. It could be that they went up to set up a satellite. It could be that they set up like a gateway for, advanced space travel or multiversal travel. Or it could be something so pointless that maybe the team thought, Reed, maybe we shouldn't push ourselves, and then Reed wanted to do it so badly, and that's what drew in Galactus' attention. But I also think that it could be Franklin's birth. I think they could have gone up in space for one reason or another. Franklin is born, and Galactus, was drawn to the planet. That tension of Reed believing that he's to blame, even if it was Franklin Richards that was to blame, would make for kind of a cool little twist. Reed blaming himself and then realizing that Galactus is actually after Franklin. We get a glimpse of what I believe is Subterranea, Mole Man's domain. Maybe the team could ask him for help saving the civilians and keeping them underground whilst Galactus stomps over their heads. And they could sort of argue with him saying, look, if we can't save the world from Galactus, if you don't let these people down here safe, then Galactus will kill us all, including you. Now, we see a shot of America going dark. This is likely due to maybe the Silver Surfer or Galactus, but the filmmakers have called this moment the all is lost moment, where essentially the plan fails, the first plan fails, and they need a new solution. Sometimes it can lead on to another. Maybe the failure actually leads to the new solution. Now, Reed could be trying to do something that actually causes this blackout. Now, he could be attempting maybe the ultimate nullifier, maybe something like that, or he's doing something and it causes a huge blackout, proving that whatever they're trying to do doesn't work. In fact, I believe that this moment where it's kind of looks to be at nighttime with all the lights on, it could be that this moment is where Reed realizes that they don't know what to do, and then they have this moment of like, oh, we've lost. And then they figure out a solution, and then the next morning is when Galactus comes. We then see a shot of the team surrounded by press wearing their spacesuits. I believe that this is just after their second space mission, where Sue wears a completely different outfit, and it looks like she's holding something, possibly a baby. The press ask Reed if they are all safe. So clearly something has happened to them on the second space mission, and they ask Reed, are they safe? But Reed doesn't know. He says, I don't know. Now, the team kind of look to him for some reassurance, but he doesn't have any. It's really interesting, this moment. It's like they all want to know what Reed has to say about it. We then see Reed at his chalkboard, crossing out theories, trying to solve this Galactus problem. He may consider multiversal travel, maybe sacrificing his Earth and just leaving, or he could kind of relocate as many people as possible. I just don't see it. The next shot we see is quite interesting. It's of a planet exploding while the Marvel 1 flies towards it. Now, I can't tell what this planet is. It could be their Earth. It could be a vision from Tar-2, which is Galactus' ship. Or it could be another Earth destroyed by Galactus. It could be that Reed searches the multiverse for solutions, but finds out that Galactus pretty much always wins. Or they're seeing visions of other worlds dying, or maybe they're looking at their world dying in the future. But my query is that not only is there a planet dying, which looks suspiciously like Earth, but the Marvel 1 rocket is pointed at it. You know, if this was at the end of the movie and Marvel was basically spoiling the ending by showing their Earth die, why would the ship be pointing at the Earth? Wouldn't it be pointing away as they leave? The next shot we see is of Sue and Reed standing by a crib. Sue says that she's not giving up as we cut to the shadow of Galactus over the city. The team are now suited up and stand beside the Fantastic Car looking up, as clearly they're looking up at Galactus. This is such a cool shot. This is their Avengers Assemble moment. I really cannot wait to see them all fight together. We hear Sue's voiceover say, we'll face this together, as we see the Silver Surfer rising from molten terrain, possibly on Tar-2, which is, like I said before, Galactus' ship. This could be kind of her origin, or it could be her being reborn with the power cosmic, which is her powers in the comics. We then see a shot of Sue crying from what looks to be the Marvel 1 ship. It doesn't look like the Baxter Building. And I think that this is actually her seeing the Earth die as they flee. It could be that they try everything in their power to save the world, and then they end up realizing, oh no, there's nothing we can do, and they leave watching it die, and then they can travel through the multiverse. We get another shot of Times Square. This time there's a monorail explosion. It could be from Galactus or Mole Man early on in the movie. And Sue finishes her speech by saying, "as a family." So I think I missed a bit out of the Sue speech, but she essentially says, we'll face it together, we'll fight it together as a family. We see a few quick shots here. We see Sue and Reed kissing. We see the Silver Surfer surfing through some destruction. Could be from the fire in the sky. We see the Thing pulling a boat with a chain, which looks incredible. And we see a little girl running to grab her Ben Grimm toy as a shadow looms over her. Possibly some debris or maybe Galactus's foot. The music fades at this point, stops. And we see Sue lying in bed with Reed and tells him it has to be us. Now, according to director Matt Chapman, these Fantastic Four, they are the only superheroes on this earth. So it's all on them. We then hear a lower tone, kind of a sad version of the Michael Giacchino theme for the Fantastic Four. As we see the team exit the Ted Gilbert show, Johnny flames on and flies off, and we see the Thing knocking down some support columns. We see Reed jumping into action, using his stretching powers, and clinging to debris as a building collapses. He's holding some sort of rod device here, and I really can't tell what it is, but it could be part of his plan to stop Galactus. In fact, in the IMAX trailer, apparently in this shot, Galactus's foot is in the background. Now, it could be that, obviously, with them leaving the Ted Gilbert show, it could be that this show appears maybe just before Galactus arrives, and it's actually, we could see two versions of the show, one towards the start where they start celebrating him, and one where the Fantastic Four have to basically come out to the public and say, it's our fault, we will we will protect you, sort of thing. We see a shot of Sue shielding herself in battle using the shield abilities that she's got, and she starts fading in and out of the light spectrum. Her powers look incredible, by the way, and I just can't wait to see this in action on the screen. We then see Reed standing on the stage for the Ted Gilbert show as he tells the audience, "We will protect you." Which I believe contrasts with his earlier uncertainty when he was asked, are we safe? And he said he didn't know. I think that this is basically going to be kind of bookend moments, really, but swapped. I think at the start of the movie, he's going to be more positive. He's going to say, "Oh, no, we will protect you. We are the heroes, and, we've done it before, we'll do it again." And then towards the end of the movie, he's going to be really disheartened and believe that he's going to fail. And finally, the final shot is of Galactus walking through New York. He's clearly scaled down here, but there is a reason for it, and I believe he's searching for Franklin Richards. Galactus has the ability to shrink and grow at will, and if he's having a look through the streets of New York, and obviously we saw in one very, very early trailer, him looking into the Baxter Building, I genuinely think he's looking for Franklin Richards. I hope Marvel are going to keep his look a secret for now. I know there's a lot of leaked little toys and things like that which reveal his full image, but I really hope they keep it a secret. But the shot of Galactus's foot walking through New York already raises the stakes for me. Furthermore, if Galactus does become a reoccurring threat in the MCU going forward, starting with the destruction of another Earth sets the tone immediately. Even if Galactus, there's rumors that this Galactus exists throughout the multiverse and he can travel to different universes. I personally wouldn't like that, but then again, it would still be cool. And so if Galactus reappeared in the future of the MCU, the Fantastic Four would have a bit of trauma towards him. They'd have an idea on how to defeat him, giving, 616 a better chance of fighting. It allows Galactus to come back again, which I'm assuming loads of people would love to see. If it's the same Galactus, it obviously has that feel of, the Fantastic Four basically want to make up for their mistake. It sounds incredible. Honestly, I'm beyond excited for this movie. And I am so sorry this breakdown came out a bit late, but I'd still love to get this out for you all to watch, because honestly, I'm just so excited for this movie. Now, this last bit is just me talking after Thunderbolts, okay? And I'm going to try and avoid spoilers, but if you've seen Thunderbolts, then you know how excited I am for this movie now. I mean, I think Thunderbolts really reignited the fire in me with Marvel, and I will be talking about Thunderbolts very, very, very shortly. But in the meantime, let me know what you think down in the comments. Have you got any theories? What were your reactions to this trailer? Any questions that you have after this trailer? And are you excited to see this film? If you like this video, then please like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And I would really appreciate it. Like I said before, my Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars pitch are related to this kind of theory that we've got here. So if you are really interested in, an idea of that direction that Avengers Doomsday could go, check out my video. It's really, really fun and loads of people love it. So check it out if you get a chance. But anyway, thank you all again so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.